Aging is an inescapable part of life, but the pace at which we age biologically is far more flexible than we once believed. In recent years, the spotlight has turned to telomeres, the protective end caps of chromosomes that gradually shorten with each cell division, as one of the clearest biomarkers of cellular aging. The length and integrity of these telomeres are increasingly viewed as indicators not just of how long we might live, but of how healthy and resilient we remain along the way. While telomere shortening is a natural process, it's also highly sensitive to external influences. Chronic stress, sedentary behavior, poor diet, and inflammation can all accelerate telomere loss. On the other hand, there's growing evidence that certain lifestyle choices, especially regular physical activity, a nutrient-rich diet, and adequate levels of vitamin D, may help preserve telomere length and promote healthier aging. Rather than acting alone, these factors appear to work together in a synergistic way, influencing gene expression, reducing inflammation, and possibly enhancing telomerase activity, the enzyme that can rebuild telomeres. Among the most powerful lifestyle tools for telomere health is exercise. Numerous observational and interventional studies have shown that individuals who engage in consistent physical activity, particularly aerobic and moderate-intensity resistance training, tend to have longer telomeres than their sedentary peers. Exercise not only reduces systemic inflammation and oxidative stress, two major drivers of telomere erosion, but also promotes mitochondrial function and hormonal balance. The physiological stress of exercise triggers adaptive responses that enhance cellular repair mechanisms, including those linked to telomere maintenance. Diet plays a complementary role. Diets rich in antioxidants, polyphenol, omega-3 fatty acids, and fiber, as found in fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, whole grains, and fatty fish, have been associated with slower telomere shortening. Conversely, diets high in processed foods, refined sugars, and saturated fats have been linked with shorter telomeres and higher markers of oxidative damage. The Mediterranean diet, for example, frequently emerges in research as a dietary pattern associated with longer telomere length and reduced chronic disease risk. But where does vitamin D fit into this equation? Vitamin D may act as the biological bridge connecting lifestyle behaviors and cellular resilience. While well known for its role in calcium metabolism, vitamin D also functions as a hormone-like regulator of gene expression, including genes involved in inflammation, DNA repair, immune regulation, and oxidative balance. Deficiency in vitamin D has been associated with shorter telomeres, especially in older adults and those with chronic disease. The hypothesis is that adequate vitamin D helps buffer the body against stressors that erode telomeres, acting partly through suppression of inflammatory cytokines and partly through genomic stability mechanisms. When physical activity and a nutrient-dense diet are paired with sufficient vitamin D, either through sun exposure or supplementation, their combined effect may be greater than the sum of their parts. Physical activity may increase the expression of vitamin D receptors in muscle and immune tissue, improving cellular uptake and effectiveness. At the same time, anti-inflammatory diets may reduce the burden on telomeres, allowing vitamin D to play a more protective role at the chromosomal level. Some research has even begun to investigate multifactorial interventions that combine exercise, diet, and supplementation. In one study, participants who engaged in comprehensive lifestyle changes, including whole food diets, regular exercise, stress reduction, and vitamin D supplementation, showed measurable increases in telomerase activity and slowed telomere shortening over a 5-year period. These findings point to a powerful synergy, suggesting that targeting several mechanisms of aging at once may be the most effective strategy for protecting cellular youth. It's also worth noting that the benefits of vitamin D and lifestyle integration may depend on starting baseline levels. Individuals who are vitamin D deficient, sedentary, and consuming processed diets have more room for improvement and often see the most dramatic gains in biomarkers like telomere length. Meanwhile, those already living a healthy lifestyle may benefit from fine-tuning dosages, meal timing, and exercise recovery protocols to further enhance cellular protection. The implications are deeply encouraging. They suggest that aging isn't merely a genetic countdown but a dynamic, modifiable process. While we cannot halt the passage of time, we can influence how gracefully and resiliently we age, right down to our DNA. And unlike expensive gene therapies or pharmaceutical interventions, The most powerful tools we have are often the most accessible: sunlight, movement, fresh food, and micronutrients like vitamin D. In a world increasingly interested in health span, the number of years lived in good health rather than merely total lifespan, the integration of vitamin D, nutrition, and physical activity emerges as a holistic, evidence-based strategy. Together, they don't just delay disease, they help preserve the very architecture of our genetic material. That's not just aging better, it's aging smarter.